Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are in good health and you guys are done with your paper now and obviously ready for ACCA examination that are going to start soon. Um, as a last minute discussion, a few quick reminders to all of you for Advanced Performance Management paper, APM paper. Um, Obviously, you guys are done with a few papers before, but just a reminder to take care of professional marks, which include these four areas. You have to write report in the proper format. Proper format means to, from, date, subject. You have to properly follow a pattern. For example, to, from, date, and subject, and then the introduction, and then one, two, three, four, whatever headings are available. So you have to follow a proper format and then plan a logical structure. If you are attempting a computer-based examination, I believe it will be easier for you because in that case you can copy, cut, copy, paste few things. But if you are attempting a manual paper, you must structure, you must think your answer before writing it because once you have written your answer, obviously you will not be able to revert it back. So that's really very important. Use of suitable headings and subheadings. Subheadings make it easier for examiner to check the paper, right? Obviously, I always say you don't have to play treasure hunt with the examiner. So write it properly, neat and clean answer. Try to help your examiner to pick the points which you have written and write clearly and concisely. Clearly and concisely. Don't overwrite. Don't write for. I mean, if a requirement is of 8 marks, don't write 2 to 3 pages. Just write to the marks, right? Whatever is in the marks, write up to the marks. Usually, it's 1 mark per point. 1 mark per point in the sense, for example, you are dealing with activity based costing, you are dealing with activity based management, and you are telling the examiner, you are telling the company that why a company should follow an activity based costing system. So you have to tell each and every you have to write in such a manner that examiner will pick those points, like, okay, fine, the student has written this part and that part, so try to manage it properly. That's the most important thing. And right, introduction of new concept, this is really very important, which I usually ask students to focus on. If a company, if I, obviously this is not the time, but if you see if a company is starting a new concept, for example, the company is not using a just in time management system, and now company is trying to switch to that, or if a company is using absorption costing and it's trying to switch to activity based costing. So if a company is applying any new concept, then you have to tell the company, you have to write in the answer that what is the basic idea of that particular concept. What is the basic what are the basic ingredients? For example, if a company is wanted to apply benchmarking, then what is the benchmarking? Don't write too much, just write 2 to 3 points precisely, so that to give a flavor that what is the concept of benchmarking, because it's a kind of thing that you are telling. You have to imagine that you are talking to someone who doesn't know anything. So you have to tell them that first, that what you are supposed to do, what is this, and then we can start with the scenario part. So you can write some general concept while answering anything which is new in the company. Now, justification is really very important, which majority students miss, I believe. Justification in the sense that if a company is switching to a new concept, then you have to write two things. I think I'm missing the point, but you have to write two things. First thing, you have to write that why you think that current situation, current system which companies for uh, is using is inappropriate. You have to justify, because whenever you are moving towards a new system, that system has to be better than this one. So you have to tell what is the problem in the current scenario, what is the problem with the current method, and why company should switch to the new method. Along with that, obviously, what are the benefits to the company? And one more point which I must emphasis on is if you are recommending something, recommendation in the sense, for example, this is a very common error which I've seen students do, is that we are recommending company that company should use economic value added, as because economic value added is a long term performance, it shows long term performance. ROCE is showing a short term performance. We have recommended that. According to us, we have written the answer, but you have to write it why economic value added is giving you long term performance measurement as compared with ROCE. You have to write, you have to justify the answer, that since it is giving you a more benefit, it's giving you more profit as compared with the cost of capital, that's why it's beneficial for the company to do that. Or for example, so again, if you are writing, if you are talking about, if you are doing the calculation of EV, you need to justify things. So justification is really very important in the examination. Do justify everything, whatever you are recommending, justify that. Whatever is wrong with the company, whatever wrong company is doing, you have to justify it, why a company should switch. That's really very important. Reasoning for switching to the new model, this is something which I said that I just I mean this is really very important to write the reason why the company is switching to the new model. Again, sort of justification. Connect theory with the scenario, this is obviously something which you all guys know, but uh, just a reminder that whatever, whenever you are writing theory, you have to connect it with the scenario. Benchmarking is good. Benchmarking or value based management or whatever you are writing, you have to connect it with the company. That's very important, and that's something which we all do. So it's not a big deal. Write according to the marks. This is really very important. You have to justify. You have to think that okay, fine. This is basically the this requirement is of 9 marks, and CEO has asked me to do two things in this. So that means 4.5 marks approximately for each requirement. And in 4.5 marks, I what things I need to cover. Wait for Try to think for 5 minutes. Try to think to 3 to 4 minutes, and write it with a pencil in somewhere in the paper, and then try to follow that sequence. It's better to think for 2 to 3 minutes or 3 to 4 minutes before writing the answer. Try to structure it. This is a better option as compared with writing it first and then thinking in what I did. So this is really very important. Writing a general theory, this is basically lender of last resort. If you really don't have any clue about, if you are unable to connect it with the scenario, then at least write few general points related to the theory. Or if something comes and if you have no clue what to write there, then obviously you can write some general theory. But try I hope this point will not come in your paper. I mean, while answering the paper, this point will not come to you. But in case something happen and if you are unable to connect something, do write its general theory. That will earn approximately, if that requirement is of 9 marks, that can earn you 1 or 1.5 or 2 marks maximum. But 2 marks are still important than earning 0 mark. So that is really very important. Check examiner marking scheme. Obviously this is not the time to do that, but at least try to check at least 2 to 3 examination paper, that how examiner has structured the answer of any question. Because I mean this is really very important, and I always say in my class that we are searching, it's a kind of thing that we are the employee of a company, and we want to have bonuses, but and we are working really very hard day and night to to get that bonus, but we are unable to do so because we don't know that on what criteria that bonus is based on. And if we didn't get bonus this year, and the next year we again started with the same thing, with the same hard work. So the important point is to understand where that bonus, on what factors that bonus is based on, and then try to work on it. So that marking marks, number of marks attached with the theory, with the answer, is something which you must know, understand that where those marks are connected, how you should write to connect it with the marking scheme. So I personally believe at least you should see 2 papers marking scheme before, 2 to 3 paper marking scheme before attempting P5 paper. Examine the report is also important, but obviously it's not the time to recommend that. But do revise everything. Last advice is try to revise everything which you have covered till now. And if you haven't covered anything, just forget about it, because obviously it's really important to have a firm grip on something which you know. And if you don't know anything, just forget about it. It's not the time to go for it. So that's basically something from my side, from the platform of online lecturer. Best of luck for your paper. I hope you will do best in your examination. Thank you.